Good morning, ICCs. It's good to kind of be with you guys today, morning or afternoon, depending on where you're from. My name's Tim Reedhead. I'm actually a part of the Tier 2 management team. I actually work with a lot of the support team and the customer service. And Brian and I got together with Kara and kind of just decided, to give you guys some updates and let you know some of the questions you guys have been asking and see if I can get you some answers, some clarity onto kind of what's going on. Some of those ICCs out there, if you recognize the name, I probably took your phone calls probably about 2 years ago or so. Loved working with the ICCs. They've always been a great help, especially with helping out our customers. And Brian gave me some list of questions I'm going to go through and go over and just see if I can add some clarity and some closure with you guys feeling confident to continue to bring customers and that you guys are doing the right thing for the people you're helping out. So I'm going to go off to that. The first question is that Brian asked me was about, when should you call into support? Honestly, the ICCs are great resources for us to find out if there's actually bugs and stuff that are going on. We love to hear from you guys if you guys see something that's wrong. If you see that there's a bug, there's a problem in there, please call in and report it. That's probably the biggest help for us as support is when we see an ICC that calls in, typically we actually treat those as a little bit higher priority than the normal customer just because we want to make sure that our ICCs are usually dealing with 5, 6 different applications. So we want to know what you guys are seeing, because if you're seeing it in 2 or 3 apps, more than likely it's probably a global thing and we need to get that fixed right away. So love to have you guys call in when there's a bug or you notice that there's something wrong, to please report it and let us know. That's the biggest thing that helps us out. So when you guys need an update or you feel like there's nothing that's been updated as of yet for, I guess, the issue itself, that way when you email Kara or Brian or post on Twitter or any social media, you actually have a ticket number to reference. Say, hey guys, we created a ticket. I haven't heard anything on it yet. Here's the ticket number. That ticket number really, really helps us, especially in the Tier 2 realm of support, be able to take that, get some details on it, and get some understanding of what the problem is to be able to get it fixed real quickly. Sometimes they're not as easy to fix, and we'll kind of get into that a little later as I kind of go down to the list here. So the next question I had here from the team was, when to use social media? So really in the community or in the world today, social media is a huge point for any type of support interaction. Just to let you guys know, we've heard you loud and clear, especially in the support realm. We're building a support team that's built just for social media. So to be able to handle those questions, you guys have probably already seen it a lot. I know everyone loves Michael Fairchild. He's been out there helping our ICC community for so long. And he's just one of the small functions that would be helping to alleviate some of the pressure there so you guys actually have updates. As well as you may have already started to see answers from Drew Fulmore. He's one of our support reps that's been doing an excellent job. And right now, it's during the normal business hours for Mountain Standard Time, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. He's answering social questions, trying to check Twitters, and then some Drew is still answering after hours. So some of these pieces, we still haven't got the complete amount of support that we'd like to have for the social media aspects, but just so you know, it's there and it's coming, and we want to have a full-fledged support system to the point where if you tweet in, let's say there's an issue out there and you want to get updated on this particular issue because it's, it's a big pain point for your customers that you're dealing with, you'd be able to tweet in issue number, 115, and that would create a ticket for you that will give you an update and let you know kind of what's going on. So we have some good things coming in the support realm that is really going to help you guys get the updates and the notifications you need to make the customer's life cycle successful. And really, both of us, it's only going to help us both because we want to help you and you help us is really what it comes down to. So that was the social media kind of the updates that I have so far for that. Still in the works, kind of where we're wanting to go with it. The next question I had was, what happens after a ticket's opened? So let me give you a clear understanding and an open, real communication as far as current reality and what it's like now. So for those of you that didn't really know, part of a Tier 2 policy for my team is we're supposed to answer and get back to any tickets that have been escalated to Tier 2 within 24 hours. Obviously that is currently not happening, and we're not happy with not being able to kind of support our customers and our ICCs with that type of feedback and be able to give them those answers within 24 hours. realistic nature right now due to CAS and the wonderful opportunity it has been to learn and grow, but as well as the pain that it's caused. It's allowed us to really see what needs to happen with this process and the time that needs to get back. Right now we've got a very large workload, so please bear with us. We'll get it down and we'll get it taken care of. We're just trying to take care of the overwhelming call volume and ticket volume we have. It's a little bit out of control right now, and we're trying to keep everything in control so that way people get proper updates. So hang in there, we'll get it down, we'll get you taken care of, but right now expect some wait times on that because we're trying to get it taken care of. It's just not as fast as we'd like it to be. Now, when the ticket itself is actually opened and when we start actually working with the ticket itself, it goes through a process. So the Tier 1 rep takes that phone call in, starts to work the ticket, and I'm sure you guys have heard this phrase before, and I want to clarify what our Tier 1 reps mean by this. I can't duplicate the issue, so I can't send it up. It's not that we're not going to send it up, it's the pure fact that we need to know how to duplicate the issue so we can actually fix it. Because if we can't duplicate it, it's like, the best analogy I could give you is like searching for a needle in a haystack. We know it's there, obviously the haystack is there, but trying to find the needle in it is so hard to do until it actually pricks you. So part of the Tier 1 process is making sure we can actually find out what the problem is so we can fix it. Because what would end up happening is if we ended up just sending every ticket without getting some duplication to it, it would end up just sitting there because we couldn't get any details to be able to make that happen. All Tier 1 reps should be able to, when a call comes in and they look at it and they say, oh, okay, I see that you have a problem and it's apparent there. I can't duplicate it, but let's keep this open or we'll close it, and you reopen it as you see this problem occur or how it happens. What that's going to allow us to do is actually have a running trail of content and ticket details as far as what we can do to get it fixed. So please understand that's what we're trying to do with the tickets is when you hear that phrase, because I know that's a frustrating phrase to hear when you have frustrating customers and you can't get complete details because we can't duplicate it. We really want to prove the customer right, which is make sure we can duplicate it so that we know exactly where the problem actually lies. Okay, so that's kind of the overall scope of when a ticket is actually open, and that's the work that goes into that. A Tier 1 rep does the troubleshooting they can to try to figure out what the problem is. If it's too much for them and they can't handle it because it's escaped either knowledge or whatever the grasp it may be on that ticket, that's at the point that it gets escalated to a Tier 2. At this point, when a Tier 2 has the ticket, what they'll do is troubleshoot the ticket, go through it, validate that it's actually an issue, because we have two types of problems that we usually run into with tickets. You have, it's a bug and it's obviously broken, and then there's the dreaded, it's a change request because it doesn't work that way, right? So a part that I want to kind of alleviate and bring some light to is based off of this particular release, and I know you ICCs that have been with us for a long time are kind of chuckling because you and I both know that we've had some problems with releases in the past with certain bugs that are coming out. Sometimes you feel like you're crossing your fingers waiting for a release to happen. Believe me, I totally understand how you feel, and my team does especially, because not only do we hear you, we're hearing the customer's frustration as well. But what we decided to do we're totally revamping the way the whole release process works and how bugs are actually ticketed and how those are generated. What we're actually doing now, and this is into effect now as it stands, and we've actually been this last week and a half, we've been revamping with the development team and the product management team to kind of bring our teams together to make this work and flourish so much better. We've had problems in the past because we couldn't really get that down, and based off the entrepreneur spirit, we'll just get it done and take care of it regardless of the cost or what it does to us. We're going through some growing pains ourselves, the way that how large the company is getting and how big we're getting. So we've got to up our game on how our teams work together and how we communicate. And that's been one of our biggest pain points that we've had and noticed for our customers is being able to get them the right communication during the right time. So what we're doing with tickets themselves is as you report a bug, let's say it's not even a bug, but you as an ICC feel it's a bug because it's a problem. It's a usability fail. This doesn't make sense. Why do we have this in here? Or why do quotes not work with the opportunity section, right? So something to that effect where you guys feel that some of these pieces that are usability fails and just were oversights, why can't we get those reported in here a voice? Well, I'm happy to say that what we're doing now is any bug or usability fail, our team is to take and we're to report it as a bug or usability fail. So it's a problem. Not necessarily, it may be a change request and it may be a refactor, so we have to try to figure out how this is actually going to, play in a part of the whole, bug life cycle as far as getting this fixed, which means you may have to be okay, and our customers will have to be okay with getting told, okay, we can work on this, and this can be a refactor. We can get some things changed here, but you're looking at 6 months, up for a month to 6 months as far as when we can implement this. The beauty with that is at least you're getting some updates and some clear, concise understanding of when you're receiving things. Okay, so this was part of the whole factor we wanted to do with being able to releases and how bugs are released and how you guys can get some clarity onto how those are fixed. Now, part of this, which I was screaming from the rooftops and super happy that this happened as well, is we're actually getting target dates. So when you report a bug, once it's evaluated by the development team and they look at it and they say, okay, this is cool, I get it, it's a bug, we need to get this fixed. How are we prioritizing this? How is this going to come out in a release? What we're doing now is taking those, setting a type of status on them, which is a priority for us, whether it's a high, an ASAP, which is right now, this can't wait at all, a medium or a low, and based off that priority determines how quickly this is going to get fixed and when it should. And based off that priority, we'll actually give you a date. Yes, I said it, an actual date that tells you when this release should go out, okay, or when this bug should be fixed. Not an estimated time, just an actual date. The biggest thing I say with caution on this is that date is set, and that's when that should go out, but there's always the change that the release date may change a couple days after the target date, but that bug will go out and be released and completed on that target date. The biggest thing is we may bump certain issues lower in priority, and they may take a lower priority to us based off new things coming in. Okay, so new bugs that come in, because we can't, let's say we had 15 bugs that all came in for CRM. Something broke with the contact search, and there's a couple other pieces. Let's say the notes issue, for example. There's only so many things we can fix within a certain period of time, because if we try to rush that, it ends up causing more problems and breaking more pieces, which is what we've seen. Having quick releases doesn't ever win for anybody, because the amount of time that's taken to test and make sure that we're good isn't in place to make sure other things don't break. So, sorry, a little long-winded there, so I'm going to kind of take a moment here to kind of let some of that stuff sink in, and then I'm going to kind of address the next piece of tickets and the kind of life cycle of it. A big question that the ICC's had as well is, what happens after it goes from Tier 2 and it goes into the development land, if you will. So what happens is after we report it and we validate it as a bug from Tier 2, we send it to our quality assurance team. That's our testing team that makes sure that what we're giving them, making sure that it tests certain areas and that the bug is actually it may affect more areas that we're just not aware of, because the Tier 2 team was to identify and make sure we can duplicate the exact problem. So then we have the Tier 2 team report that, the QA team takes a look at it and sees, okay, what else does this affect? What else other pieces could I see? At that point, they take that, they push that ticket to our developer in hands of an actual dev member, and he works on the ticket to reword the code, find out how much it's going to take to fix something. Now, the thing I love about this whole release and how the pain it's caused, but the innovation that it's caused, is we're now moving to a monthly maintenance release. Okay, I realize that to some people that can be a little scary, because then you have to wait a little longer before your issues are done. What I am so happy about this monthly maintenance release is, one, it gives you target dates, so we can actually tell you when a release is going to happen for a fix. And two, there is so much more testing that goes into a monthly maintenance release than a 2-week release. Again, if you're trying to patch and fix things and also release other things to help innovate or make some changes to help some of our ICCs or our customers achieve the goal that they want, and we're doing it every 2 weeks, there is no way you can scalably make that actually work to where you're not going to have problems, especially if you're trying to innovate, right? So the biggest thing we wanted to do here to solve this is, let's have a monthly maintenance patch that allows us to fix everything that we can, and then actually put together fix pieces to where we have enough testing that actually happens, so that when the testing's actually finished, everything's good to go, right? So there's 2 to 3 weeks of actual testing to make sure it doesn't conflict with any other pieces, and that everything just rolls and it works very well. So when the release happens, we're not crossing our fingers. We're excited, we're happy, because we know it's going to be a nice release, it's going to be a good build, and our customers are going to be happy about it. That's not to say that we won't have bugs, because we still will. We're software, we're innovating, we're improving, we're trying to make things better. So obviously that comes into play with the whole release process. So that's why we're super excited about it and happy about where this is going to take us. And your thoughts, your comments, they've been heard. We've felt the pain as well. And that's why we moved to this maintenance release patch for monthly, so that way we can achieve those goals. Because based off of the way we had it built, we couldn't do that. And that's really what it came down to for us, especially as a growing company. That's how we needed it to be able to work out so it could happen. So that's partly why we placed the known issues page on the website, so that way you guys can kind of see what's coming in. And to make that possible as well, we needed this kind of structure set up, so that way you guys can actually get relevant ideas and relevant issues as far as what's going on in the data for workarounds and whatever you need for those issues for your customers. So to give you some clarity on the known issues page itself, as I mentioned a little bit of that. So that was kept up to date last year. We had some issues with it. Obviously, with things growing, things building, it got out of date. Honestly, there's not any other way to say we apologize for that one. That should have been kept up to date, and that was definitely in customer support's realm as far as taking care of that. Right now, we do have that updating. We're updating on a daily basis. Now, here's the catch-all with that known issues page. Some of your issues may not be on there, and here's the reason why. Obviously, we want to have clarity and communication to our customers, but sometimes some of the bugs that are reported are only specific to a particular person's application. So we can't really say this is a known issue and it's across the board, when it really isn't, because we've only seen it happen in 2 or 3 applications, and that's it. And it could be as simple as a plugin wasn't switched on when something happened, when a deployment happened for a release, something to that nature. So when you see the known issues page, you're seeing mainly the major issues that are going out right now and that are happening. The cool thing about that known issues page, if you go to knownissues.infusionsoft.com, you'll see 2 tabs on the top. You'll have one for the issues that are current right now, and you'll have 3 options to kind of categorize or sort that list up. And then you'll have a recent fixes. So what we wanted to do is give you guys clarity as well. So when we deploy an issue and we fix it, that way you can still go to here if it's a major issue and look at recent fixes and kind of see what's going on with it, and if other pieces have been fixed, and if there was a workaround. The biggest thing we wanted to be able to solve for our customers and our ICCs to be able to see this is if you have a known issue that you need a workaround for, and maybe the support rep when you called in didn't know one right off the hand, or when they reported it. As soon as you see that known issues page update, there should be a workaround on it. If there isn't a workaround, then there's not a workaround, and usually we're trying to get those done ASAP to get those cleaned and cleared out. The biggest thing with that known issues page that's really going to help your team, especially the ICCs, is keep up to date with issues that may occur and pop up. Some may not be on there, and they may not be up on the known issues page until there's enough sufficient data for us to actually call it an issue, and then it's actually known across the board and it's causing a lot of pain. Cool thing about that known issues page, if you look at the very top portion of the screen, you'll actually see an RSS feed. So you can actually click to that, and it actually gives you a feed so you can kind of get set up with that. So you guys are getting updated when we post something new or something gets updated for it. So just so everyone's aware, that's a huge asset to you guys to make sure you guys are updated on the same page of issues that are going on. Because support, we've toyed with trying to get you guys updates and making sure you guys are aware, but with ICCs, you guys are in 6, 7 different apps, and sometimes an issue that's affecting you guys isn't in 2 of the apps that you're currently working in, but it ends up being in the 3rd one. So what this known issues page is really driving for is being able to give you guys those real-time updates, so that way if you do encounter a problem, it may be on that page. So we'll keep it up to date as best as we can. Right now it's on a daily updation as far as what needs to happen with it, but sometimes there may not be an issue that gets published to it that day. So that's kind of where that page is at. Go to that, use that, have your customers use it if you want to. Please use that, because we plan on making that customer facing, updating it, making it look nicer as far as some of the color coding on it. There's some updating that's going to happen to that based off this monthly maintenance patch that we're doing for our customers now. So you'll see some changes in aesthetics to the page itself, but all the functionality as far as the priorities of a bug, what it's going to look like, and the recent fixes for it, as well as a workaround, will all be on there. What we're planning on having on there after we finish this target date, section of development, so we can make sure all of the issues actually have target dates. So when you go to that page, you'll actually see the target date as well as when we plan on releasing the fix for this. Okay, so that way when you call into a support rep, and you're wondering why this isn't being fixed now because it's treated as ASAP, you can actually reference the issue number so the rep can actually know exactly what you're talking about to give you the most relevant data to that. Because support reps are taking in many calls a day, and we may not know the most recent update to whatever issue that you're dealing with, because what if we have 20 to 30 issues that are smaller ones that some of the other reps know about and some don't. So biggest thing we want to make sure is that every rep is very aware of what's going on, and we're striving to achieve that so you guys aren't wasting time on the phone with a phone call that we may have already known what the issue is, but the support rep just didn't know about it yet. So there's some clear communication that we're improving on to make sure that this is very clear for our customers as well as for the ICCs and our support reps, so that way you get clear understanding of what needs to happen. Okay, so the next question here, the eyes and ears, I guess, for the Facebook community, and I guess the suggestions you guys have. I know really what you're driving for is having like a feedback area where you guys can tell us, hey, these are the things that we want as ICCs. These are a lot of pieces we're seeing from customers that we really want. Now, the biggest thing, if you're wanting ideas or some light shed on a lot of pieces, right now we're trying to figure out what that's going to look like and how to best make that accessible for our customers. Right now, our product management team is the one that actually handles all of the customer feedback to improve and add pieces to the software as far as what needs to happen. Now, when I say that right now, it's because obviously when I told you about the maintenance release and how that happens monthly and how we've reorganized the way deployments happen, this is actually going to really, really help our customers, because part of the pain that we felt as support was we were trying to support our ICCs and our customers, but we weren't able to give the relevant data on a good scope to our product management team to allow your feedback and your suggestions to be consumed as benefits instead of, oh, I want this feature, but instead of, I want this benefit out of this. So that way it allows us to innovate and produce what you're looking for to achieve that benefit, although it's going to look different from what you exactly wanted. We haven't clearly completely figured out what that's going to look like yet. We've tried a lot of different things over the years. We've had obviously the community forum that you guys post on with different things. We've had PMs calling out and making interviews to find out what it is, what you guys want. Right now we're trying to figure out the best way to consume all of that data to get you guys a really good access as far as how that's going to look. Right now I don't have any answers for you. The support team doesn't, and neither do the product management at this time as far as what that's going to look like. Still continue to use the community forum. That's still a good place to be able to add your suggestions and ideas, but we'll have something coming soon that's been a big pain point, and we really want to achieve that for our ICC team to make sure that you guys really get your feedback heard. We want to make sure that you're a huge part of who you drive to use Infusionsoft and the work you do for them and for us, and we want to make sure that your feedback is felt and that's prioritized accordingly because of the type of data you give us. So that's coming. I don't have any answers for you yet. We're working on trying to make it a good process to where you guys can use that. So stay tuned for that, and maybe we'll do another recording in a couple months so I can give you some ideas of kind of where that process has been to. Our biggest thing we wanted to make sure we did is really buckle down the release and how that works, so that way you guys can actually get good, clear understanding to customers and making sure that our deployments are happy occasions. You're excited about what's coming out instead of crossing your fingers, making sure that nothing blows up when it comes up to that point. So that was the biggest pain point that we saw and we wanted to make sure we achieved. So that's what we've been focusing all our time on, to make sure that the foundation's laid so that as we scale and get larger, we can actually have something in place that's very scalable for you guys to give us feedback for. Now, the last piece here, please comment, when this gets pushed back to, through your email. Brian's going to shoot this out through email to let you guys know, this video and this recording. He's going to post it on Facebook. Please give us your comments and your feedback. We're listening. We want to hear it. We want to make sure that we have exactly what you guys are looking for. You're a huge bonus and a plus for us. We really want to work with our ICCs because there's a lot of things that you provide for our customers that they need, and we need you as well. And us working together is only going to make it better. So please comment. Let us know how you felt about the recording. If there's any questions that you would like answered that I missed, that we didn't completely get complete clarity on or needed some better understanding on it, and we'd love to be able to help you out as you can. Please, again, email Brian or Kara, post, and we'd love to hear from you soon. All right, thank you, ICCs, have a great morning or afternoon or rest of the day or weekend, wherever you're watching this at, and we hope to hear from you soon.